Hello and welcome back to class. If you're new here, welcome. If you're old here, welcome back. I'm your host, Mr. Tristan Social, and today's topic is how to consistently talk to women. So we just got off a group call, and one of the big questions that the guys were asking was, how do I consistently talk to women? How do I not allow the ups and the downs of the conversations and the ups and the downs of the rejections and the ups and the downs of myself get in the way of me consistently talking to women? And this is kind of like one of the age-old things. It's like, you know, motivation is one thing, but discipline is when motivation leaves the room. So how can we be disciplined? How do we be consistent? How do we constantly have motivation to go and talk to women? And the real topic of this is how you do one thing is how you do anything. Hold on a second. How you do one thing is how you do anything. At the end of the day, man, if you wake up at a consistent time and you do consistent routine every single morning, you're going to consistently feel a certain way when you go into social situations and circumstances to go and talk to women. And when you break that consistency, when you break that habit, when you break that routine inside of yourself, that's where the consistency drops off. So when it comes to how to consistently talk to women, it's like, how do we be consistent in all areas of life so that we can elevate to a higher plane and create consistency across the board? So it's not a question of if, it's a question of, do I want to? Do I see her as valuable? Do I desire a connection with her? Not if will she accept me or if I'm feeling good today, because those are the things that destroy our momentum, and momentum is the biggest part of the universe. Like momentum and consistency, it compounds on top of itself, so it allows you to be successful day in and day out. And the answer to this, how to consistently talk to women, is how do we be consistent with the simple things, the minor things? So we're gonna start with that. One thing that I found to be super helpful with this is being consistent with a morning routine. If I'm constantly waking up at the same time, I'm constantly doing the same things to put me in the right state of mind, then there's really no outside influence that can knock me off my game. When we wake up in the morning, guys, and the first thing that we do is that we wake up at an inconsistent time. It could be 9 a.m., it could be 4 a.m., it could be 6 a.m., it could be noon. When we're all over the place, that means that our results are gonna be just the same, all over the place. And if we want consistent results, it's the exact opposite of what we want. So we need to create a routine that allows us to get into a consistently mental, safe place that allows us to grow and build on top of itself. So a lot of this comes down to confidence, but how do you build confidence? Well, you do the things that you say you're gonna do, and you be the person that you think that you are. And how do you do that? A consistent morning routine. You probably weren't coming into this video expecting me to talk about morning routine on how to consistently talk to women, but it's just as simple as that. If you're consistently showing up for yourself and you're consistently doing the things that you say you're gonna do, and you're consistently putting yourself in a positive state of mind at the early hours of the day, then you're consistently gonna feel good and you're consistently going to explode your results. So it starts with the morning process. And my morning process is laid out. I'll show you guys right here. See if you can see this. I have it written here because simple means that it can get accomplished. Daily process. Give you guys a second to read that right there. But my daily process is as follows. I wake up at 5 a.m. And this gives me, I'll tell you guys this. On my Instagram, I have 1 million followers, but I have gotten more girls, more people DMing me, more women interested in me as a person, as a potential sexual mate, because I post that I wake up at 5 a.m. That's a great conversation topic. It's girls with, oh, you know, I want to learn how to wake up like that. I need to learn how to wake up like that. I need to be consistent in that. And that allows them to admire you. You always have to be doing things as a man to make a woman admire you. The moment that you allow a woman to not look at you with admiration is the moment that you lost her respect. And if you don't have her respect, here's the thing. I don't even want a woman to love me. I want her to respect me and I want her to consider me. And it's so much easier for a woman to follow your lead when you're a consistent leader and you're consistently showing that you're consistent for yourself. Once you're consistent here, the outside world will respond to you. Because the law of correspondence is it states inside of the Kabbalion, as above, so below. If internally you're consistent with yourself, externally you're gonna find consistent results. So that morning process, I wake up at 5 a.m., I do 200 push-ups. And yes, I'll work out later in the day as well. And the push-ups aren't necessarily to get buff. The push-ups are just to wake up the mind, wake up the body, and to start the day with a really good win. I'll drink a little bit of water, I'll put on 200 push-ups, and I'll just feel like my body is electric. I'll feel like I earned the respect that women give to me. And I stand different, I feel different, I talk different. Like somebody that wakes up at 5 a.m. and does 200 push-ups every single day, they come into the world with a different type of mentality. Like when I talk to a woman, I'm looking for her flaws. I'm looking for the holes in her system. I'm looking at where it is that she's lacking, because those are areas that I can lead her in. If I can't lead her, then there's no reason for her to follow me. And if she can't follow me, then the relationship is doomed from the point. The point of the game is not to have sex. The point of the game is to have women obsessed with you, want to spend time with you, want to be around you, want to earn your respect and your admiration, so that you can go ahead and elevate and lead these women and then have your way. Because that's what we want. And we want to be good men at the end of the day, that we're leading people to a right place. And if women are following us and we don't have a consistent morning routine, if we don't have a consistent schedule, if we don't have a consistent ideology of who we are, then there's going to be holes inside of who we are, and then they're going to fall through the cracks. Quite literally, think of it like that. So after I do my 200 push-ups, I pop in 3 pages of journaling. What this does for me is it clears out the mind. It clears out all the muck. Like if you think of it like an oil change for the mind, there's so many things that happen on a day-to-day basis. There's so many things that happen and can affect you, and it can jumble up and make it feel like it's 15 things when it's really 2 or 3 things. So these 3 pages of journaling, it's called stream of consciousness journaling. If you check out my other book, my other video, How to Journal, it goes more into detail of that. But with this morning process, I wake up, I prove to myself that I want it. I prove to myself that I'm physically capable, and I prove to myself that my mental acuity is there to be able to walk into the day with a clear head, a level head, and even allow you to speak better. Like with journaling, it allows me to speak in full sentences to myself. It's a conversation with myself. So I'm able to come onto these videos, I'm able to go into situations and circumstances and talk to women with a quicker mind. And these all build into the confidence. All of these are tokens into the confidence bucket. Bucket right here. These are all me voting that I'm worth it. These are all me voting that I'm consistent. These are all me voting that I'm a man of value that deserves the best woman in the world. And if you're not saying these things to yourself, you need to really examine yourself and understand why you're not saying these things to yourself. And then also understand, what are you saying in place of that? Because if you're not doing one thing, you're doing another. Like if you're not waking up at 5 a.m., you're waking up at a different time. If you're not doing 200 push-ups, you're lacking 200 push-ups. If you're not doing 3 pages of journaling, you're voting to yourself that you don't want a clear mind. So after I hit the 3 pages of journaling, I'll do 20 minutes of reading. And brother, this reading is so important for building in new information into the mind. I find so many interesting conversation topics and like ways to tie in combos with really beautiful women in a really interesting and articulate way that allow them to respect me more, because I do this reading. Because I prove to myself that I want to gain new information that's not, found on Instagram, that's not found on YouTube, that's not found in a Facebook article. Like I remember when Facebook articles became really, really, really cool in modern mainstream media, like maybe around 2011, 2012. And I started to hear people have conversations about Facebook article titles, not even the articles themselves, but the titles. And if these people are all talking about the same shit, when you come in and you talk about something different that you read into a book, when you can read a book to a girl, when you can quote a book to a girl, these all build into the confidence bucket, and they all build into the respect bucket that woman is gonna have for you. So you can look good, but if you open your mouth and what's coming out is just complete nonsense, or it's Facebook articles, you're gonna lose a lot of the women that would have been inside of the bucket had you had done the things necessary to build up that morning process and to build up that idea of who you are as a man. And all of these things, you might not see immediate paybacks from them, and that's actually what we want. If we get immediate payback from something, then it means it's instant gratification. If it's instant gratification, it's usually not good for us. Like these 200 push-ups, you really don't feel the benefit of them until they're done, and then you really don't see the benefit of them until you start compounding them 12 days, 14 days, 20 days, 200 days. Like that's what a body is. A body is a representation of every single decision that you've made as a man. All the tattoos, all of the muscles, all of the scars, these are all marks of a decision. Your body is the greatest ledger of activity that anybody can have. That's why when you look at a beautiful woman, you see that she has a nice bum and her legs are great and she's got a slim stomach. It's like, wow, that person makes good decisions. These are all good decisions right here. And after I do the 20 minutes of reading, I do an hour meditation. And I'm even considering, and I'll never know this until I actually experiment and I see, maybe an hour of meditation is a little bit too much for the mornings because it's a taxing thing. But that hour of meditation allows me to walk into the day with just be able to respond to things instead of reacting to things. And by the time this happens, it's about 2 hours. So I wake up at 5, I get done around 7, and I'm already walking into the day with 2 hours underneath my belt, voting towards a vote of confidence, voting towards me being consistent with myself. And when it comes to beautiful women and I see them, because I've done the inner work, I can notice when somebody else hasn't done the inner work. And when I do the inner work, other people can tell that I've done the inner work because it comes from the inside out, not the outside in. I'm not looking for external validation. I'm internally validating to myself that I am attractive, that I am a man that's worth the value, that I am somebody that is a strong leader. And these things, you have to earn these statements to yourself. Like affirmations are one thing, but actions that back affirmations are a completely different thing. If you affirm something and you don't do any actions to back it up, you're literally just being delusional to yourself. And then what this allows me is to build my confidence bucket. I consistently show up for myself. I'm consistently proving to myself that I want it, and I consistently show myself that I am a consistent person. And here's the thing, man, women want consistent men. Women don't want inconsistent men. If you're consistently a jerk, if you're consistently a strong man, if you're consistently this, consistently that, at least they know what to expect. At least they know that what they're getting themselves into, and then they can go ahead and respect that. And if they jump onto your program, then they jump into your program. And then they can't complain about it later down the line. Oh, you're inconsistent, blah, blah, blah. No, I showed you who I was from out the gate because I have this morning process. When you're disciplined with this morning process, everything else seems so much easier throughout the day. But if you're waking up late, you're scrolling the first thing, you're taking in some sugar in like a sugary drink or something like that, and you're not doing anything that fortifies your mind against the day, you are literally just walking in as a walking zombie. And no wonder you don't feel confident consistently talking to women, because you don't have any consistency that backs up the idea of who you are. You can say who you are, but the subconscious mind sees everything. And if the subconscious mind doesn't see a man that's consistent, diligent, determined, strong, motivated, if you're not using these words to describe who you are, that means that you're not doing actions that back these things. And if you're not doing actions that back these things, of course you're not gonna feel confident, because there's a cognitive dissonance between the identity that you think that you are and the identity that you actually have and the identity that you want to have inside of your life. So once we have this morning process set down, and simple means executable. Make it simple. Make it copy, paste, pass, fail. If you can make it where it's just, did I do it or did I not do it? Well, then at the end of the day, you can say, hey, I succeeded or I failed because of the inputs that I put in. And talking consistently to women is just a consequence of having a good mind. Talking consistently, having confidence in women is just a consequence of you doing the internal work and getting those internal wins at the end of the day. So once we have this morning process down, then we can go into warm-up activities that allow us to be successful when we're talking to women. Some things that I do, and another question inside of the coaching program, if you're interested in coaching, if you're interested in getting in a group of like-minded men where they hop on and we talk about our dating lives and success and how that we can go ahead and elevate to the next level, go ahead and click the link in the bio down below and fill out an application. I'll be happy to have you talk to me and my team to see if it's a good fit to get you to that next level, which you know that you potentially can be at. Because people that don't have potential don't click on videos like this. They don't want to learn new things. And the mind is like a parachute. It only works if it's open. All right? Use that line with women. Like if she's... I've used that line before to just overcome objections. You know, like the mind only works if it's open. You know, maybe we should just go check out my place. And if you don't like it, then it's completely fine. You know what it is. So either that goes into manipulation, that goes into a whole bunch of different perspectives and aspects of influence. And that's the game that we play, man. She's gonna try and influence you one way, you're gonna try and influence her the other way. Whoever is the stronger frame is going to win. That's sales, that's marketing, that's life at large, that's business, that's platonic relationships, that's romantic relationships, that's business relationships, that's every relationship, is who is influencing who. And you have to determine how your daily process is determining yourself. And here's the thing, you're probably asking yourself, how can I be consistent with this? Make it just so simple. Start with one thing. Start with one thing and then execute that day in and day out, and see and challenge it. Challenge the universe. It's like, hey universe, if I do this consistently for 7 days, let's see how I feel on the 8th. Let's see how the momentum feels and that compound interest feels on the 8th. And then we can start getting into the warm-up practices. So when I do warm-ups before I go out and talk to women, there's a physical, there's a mental, and there's a speech. So the physical, when I go out and I talk to women, I've noticed what works really well. You can look up Elliot Hulse's body somatics, body exercises. It's just getting the body warmed up. It's, tapping, it's, I'm not gonna do the whole routine now, but it's getting the body moving so the energy is moving through you. So what a lot of men will do is they'll try and jump off the bench and get into the game when it's a high stakes situation, and they wonder why they're cold. We have to get the physical body moving. If it means before you go outside doing push-ups just beforehand, doing your somatic exercises, moving your body around, moving that energy inside you, it's like opening the windows to your soul. It allows the energy to go out that's stale and new energy to come in. So we have those physical exercises that allow us to flow, get us into the flow state. So physical bleeds into all of these. If we can start with the physical, then we're off to a really good start. Mental. So the mental, I'm always using positive self-talk. And listen to that statement that I said. I'm always using positive self-talk. Because if you don't do one thing, you're doing another. That positive self-talk is going to be your savior when it comes to this. I like myself. I'm an attractive man. I'm rich, handsome, and abundant. I create abundance in my life. I open situations and circumstances. I create abundance with my social life. I create all of these opportunities. I take opportunities. I don't wait for opportunities. I go. When I say I need to go, I go. Like, these are the things that I'm saying to myself. I'm getting laid tonight. I'm having a good time tonight. I'm out with the boys tonight. Me and my boys are having a great time. I'm gonna go out and meet new people. I'm gonna have a new conversation. I'm going to be the person. I'm gonna be the spark, the catalyst that gets me into these situations. When you can build up that mental, man, that mental goes crazy and allows you to be in situations and circumstances that you previously thought were impossible. Because if you think it's impossible, well, then you're just fighting an uphill battle from that point. We never want to be in a place where we feel like we can't win. And if we feel like we can't win, we have to go back to the physical, we have to go back to the mental. And those are the mental warm-ups. I like myself, I love myself, I'm deserving of this. Women love being around me. I'm saying that out loud, and then I'm affirming it with my actions. And then what happens is I do a speech warm-up too. One of the speech activities that led to me having a threesome in Hanoi, Vietnam. I made a video about this a long time ago, but I was able to pull a threesome because I was outside, I was sober, I was in a bar district in Hanoi, which is great, by the way. It's a fantastic time. But I'm speaking to myself the ABCs, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, and I'm getting used to my mouth moving. Because if your mouth hasn't moved all day and you try and jump into a conversation with somebody, your lips are gonna be cold, your jaw is gonna be cold, your speech muscles are gonna be cold, and they're not gonna be flowing as fluently as they need to be in times, places, situations, circumstances, and around other people. Does that make sense? So when we have a physical warm-up, we have a mental warm-up, and we have a speech warm-up, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That means that our whole body is warm before we even jump into a situation, and that cuts down our warm-up time. We have to think about this, like, man, your first set is just gonna be a sacrifice to the universe. Like, your first 100 sets, until you get to the point where you really build up this fortitude, it's kind of like working out. You just have to sacrifice it. There's going to be one more. I promise you there's gonna be another woman, there's gonna be another situation, another circumstance, another place, another time, and there's gonna be more opportunities, but you have to warm up to be able to attack these, to feel comfortable inside of these. And confidence comes from putting yourself in situations where you're questioning yourself and then coming out the other side, the man. And the man is the person that jumps into the situation, and even if he fails, he gave himself the opportunity to succeed. He gave himself the opportunity to look at himself in the mirror and said, at least you jumped into the arena today. Because glory does not sit on the sidelines. There is no glory in playing it safe. There is no glory in hopping on Hinge and getting the 6 and then having just meaningless sex with somebody that you see no future with. Glory lies in the ability to look at that beautiful girl and say, I'm gonna go talk to her right now, and then doing exactly that. That's where glory is. A lot of you guys never give yourself the opportunity to shine because you never gave yourself the opportunity to fail. You need to put yourself in a more stressful, strenuous, self-conflicting situations so that you can find out what you're really made of. You never know how fast a car can go until you threaten to crash it. A lot of people think that their top speed is 60 miles per hour because they never push to 70. They never even tested 60. Once they get to 60, they're like, oh shit, like I gotta slow it back down. That's not the way to go about it, brother. Listen, man, in this universe that we live in, it's a pleasing universe, not a teasing universe. You wouldn't see that girl and feel the desire to go talk to her if there was absolutely zero chance that you could pull something off. But the reason you feel uncomfortable and unconfident in talking to that woman is because you haven't done the work yet. You haven't shown up consistently for yourself in a day in and day out basis to make you feel confident that she's going to like you. And first you gotta like yourself. That's the base principle of all my teachings. If you like yourself, other people are gonna like you, and you're gonna put yourself in more situations, circumstances, events, and ideas that allow other people to like you. But if you don't like yourself because you're not doing the things that consistently make you feel like you like yourself, well then you've already lost the battle. With that being said, my friend, what time are we at already?
11:18.
No, how many minutes?
20 minutes.
This is a 20-minute video already? Man, I'm talking, bro. Jeez, keep that in the video. I like that. I like when we shoot the shit back and forth. So with that being said, man, figure out what your morning routine is. Keep it simple, keep it executable. But the main important thing with it is be consistent with it. Always be consistent with it. Always choose yourself over that person. Always choose your disciplines over the comfort of the bed, over the comfort of, having sex with a girl. Choose your disciplines, because if you don't choose your disciplines, you're gonna lose everything. You have to choose yourself. I was laying in bed with a beautiful girl last night, and I hadn't done the reading yet in the day. And I told myself, is this feeling of me being comfortable with this woman more important than myself? No, it's not. So I got up and I did 20 pages of reading, and I feel a lot better about it, and I feel better that I could tell you the story. Because here's the thing, consistency breeds consistency in every area of life. If you're consistently not showing up for yourself, you're gonna consistently miss opportunities with a beautiful woman because you don't feel like you're worth it. Bar. And with that being said, my friends, if you haven't already hit subscribe, if you haven't already left a comment, leave a comment. And if you haven't already joined the coaching program, click the link down below. I'd love to start a conversation with you and see if we're a good fit. I know my side is good. Let's make sure yours is. With that being said, I love you dearly. My salvation is paved one YouTube video at a time. We're getting a lot better at these. I could already feel it. My speech is becoming better. We're filming 3, 4, 5 videos a day, and it feels really good. With that being said, I love you. Go implement what you learned today, because knowledge without implementation is just wasted space. Love you. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.